Sisco. He's been very consistent in his minor league career. 363 batting average in 2013, 340 in 2014, then 297 with Frederick and Bowie in 2015, and so far this season, a 314 batting average. Now, Chance Sisco told Steve Melewski he was happy to be invited to the Orioles 2016 spring training, where he saw how prioritized the Orioles defense is.
Defense comes first, and being in big league camp this year, it opened my eyes a little bit to how much focus we need to put behind the plate, and that's definitely helped me. The focus of working back there for 9 plus like tonight, and being able to have that focus.
And probably also being in big league camp helped show you can do it, didn't it? You know, you can catch and hang with some of these guys.
Of course, yeah. Big league camp gave me a ton of confidence. I mean, being able to work with the guys, pretty much caught everyone that was up there. So, I mean, and working with Caleb and Matt, JR, I mean, definitely gave me confidence.
So let's talk offense. 311 average, pretty strong, one of the league leaders. What's come together for you this year?
I'm just trying to see the ball and hit the ball. I mean, there's not much else to it for me as an approach-wise. I'm just trying to make good contact and driving some runs and get on base as much as possible.
So Steve Melewski there with Chance Sisco at Bowie, and now with me here in the MASN broadcast booth at Baltimore's Camp of the Yards. Of course, Steve covers the Orioles and also big time on the Orioles minor leagues on a regular basis on MASNsports.com. Steve, Chance Sisco is starting to build like some reputation down in the minors, isn't he?
Oh, he is, Tom. I mean, you saw that graphic. I mean, he's hit 300 everywhere he's played, so I sense a theme here. This kid can hit, and as you heard, he really gets the message. If you want to come to Baltimore and play for Buck Showalter, you better be able to defend. And if you're a catcher, that's incredibly important. And so he is slowly but surely improving as a catcher. His percentage throwing out runners is pretty strong at Bowie. I mean, this kid is 21. They called him up last year at the end of the year. At 20, he was the catcher for a team that won the Eastern League Championship. That's very young. He's a left-handed hitting catcher. Excellent pitch recognition. He wears out left center field. You know, right now the power is not there, but scouts have said they could foresee a day he hits 10 or 12 home runs in the big league. So there's a lot to like about Chance Sisco. 21-year-old left-handed hitting catcher, learning his trade at AA, and who knows? I mean, maybe he's pushing for some time here as soon as next year.
Remember, Earl Weaver always wanted and loved having a left-handed hitting catcher, but beyond Chance Sisco, it looks like the Orioles are building some depth in their minor leagues at the catching position.
You know, they are really solid here, because there was a couple years ago, this was really a weak position on the Oriole farm, but no longer. 2 of those 3 were drafted with Sisco out of high school in 2013. Murphy, Heim, and Sisco, all 3 were drafted that year. They're all doing well. I mean, Alex Murphy, local product out of Calvert Hall in Baltimore. He's from Mount Airy. This kid can really hit. He's playing some first base and catch. One of the hitting leaders with home runs in the Sally League. They say he's really aggressive. He's got a hitter's mentality, and the Orioles really like that. Yermin Mercedes, that average has been well above 300 all year. 23 years old, from the Dominican. You know, his offense is ahead of his defense now, so the defense is going to need to come for him to play at higher levels. And Jonah Heim, this kid, really intriguing young prospect. He's a switch hitter. He's just 21. His offense, he's hitting .295 in June, so that's starting to come, Tom. And he may be the best defensive catcher in the Oriole farm system. They really like his the way he handles pitchers back there. He's pretty smart. He calls a good game, got a strong arm, and he's a switch hitter that they can see developing some pop over time. So Jonah Heim is definitely one to watch. Catching is definitely now a strong position on the Oriole farm.
Isn't it kind of interesting, though, that any team, for that matter, can build at certain positions, or maybe, I don't know whether they luck into it, but it seems like the Orioles have an abundance of first basemen and catchers now in the minor leagues that are ticketed.
And they had a couple catchers make all-star games. Heim and Mercedes just played at all-star games in their respective leagues, so that was a nice thing for them. And, you know, going back to that 2013 draft, Gary Rasich, the scouting director, said, we weren't necessarily looking to draft catchers, but it was a strong position for that draft. So they played to the draft. There was a lot of catchers, young high school catchers were available that year. So the Orioles went out and got 3 of them, and 3 years later, they're pretty happy with all 3.
Now, Aberdeen season is underway, and it looks like it's got an international flavor to it.
Very international flavor. I mean, the Aberdeen Ironbirds, their manager, Luis Polho, says, we're the United Nations. Look at this graphic, and we're going to show you a second one. This is one of 2. You've got Cuba, Taiwan, Canada, South Korea, and Mexico. And that's just a start for the Ironbirds, who have more players from 9 different countries all told here. Venezuela, the Dominican, Curacao, and Alexander Wells is 2-0 with an ERA of 1.64 out of Australia. He has a twin brother, Lackland, who pitches for the Twins. And the Twins missed out. They could have had twins, but they split up. One is in Baltimore and one is in Minnesota. But it's really interesting. You look at Major League clubhouses, and you might have 30% players born outside of the United States. You just have to have the world represented right now to be a good organization long term. And you look at those kids in Ironbirds, and we're not selling any of them as great prospects yet. They're just starting out. But the Orioles have blanketed the world there. 9 countries. Luis Pujols says we're the United Nations. And Tom, if you think about it, just communicating is not easy. I like to know who holds the team meetings and how many languages he speaks when the Ironbirds have one, because that's an international clubhouse.
Check him out on MASNsports.com. Steve Melewski does a great job covering the Orioles and also the minor leagues.